Good morning, Gateway Rotary.
Good morning, Nathan.
Good morning, Nathan.
Thank you, thank you. It's awkward not holding the microphone. All right.
Go ahead. There it is.
Yeah, the bells happened. Ding. Leading us in the pledge today is Graham Thurston.
Please join me in the pledge to our flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And leading us in the four-way test is Mike Roberts.
Please join me in saying the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First,
Is it the truth?
second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third,
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
fourth,
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
and fifth.
Is it fun?
Okay, get right on it. I'm going to turn it up.
Okay. All right. Do we have any visiting Rotarians? I see no hands. Do we have any guests of Rotarians? Nope, I don't see any hands. Maybe next week. Do we have any club announcements? Any club announcements? How's that?
Yeah.
Does that help my voice?
Yeah, it does.
All right, any club announcements? No? All right. All right, I have a few though. So as you know, starting today, we have our political forums.
Yay, political forums.
And then for the next five weeks, candidates are up there on the list. Please share and invite your friends and colleagues and workers. I know 7 o'clock's early from the work from home environment, but it's still happening.
Come in your pajamas.
Oh, yeah, well, if you're only in the Senate. What? I did forget, we are recording. So this is recorded. It is not live though, so it will be posted to YouTube later today. For those, I sent out an email. Lacey Food Bank is doing a volunteer appreciation. Yesterday was the cutoff, but I just wanted, in case you do not RSVP, I'm sure they might squeeze you in, but it is Saturday the 30th. If you never received the email, it's because you volunteered, it's because you never actually entered your information in their data tracking system. All right. Okay, so we have really no change in terms of the amount of money other than the polio plus to go up, but we already met that goal as a club. And we have 3 new sustaining members. But right now, Tom and Eric are safe from having to wear their favorite jerseys from each other's teams.
Can we raise the bar, just to make it more interesting?
What do they
Like
want to do?
what?
Because I think Tom and Eric are just kind of sitting gloating right now. They don't really, there's no push.
Well, I mean, it is only $100 ask.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I don't know how much lower the bar can go. It's only $100. Yeah.
Okay.
But the sooner we get it done, the sooner they'll start wearing the jersey. It's pretty that easy. All right, so here are the 3 new sustaining members. Thank you, Doug Ma and Spencer.
Yay!
And of course, I miscounted last week. Jerry Farmer wasn't on there, even though he has contributed since the very beginning.
Yay!
I understand Jerry paid in Canadian dollars, though. So
I did.
Sure.
Right, yeah. Sorry.
Sorry.
So it's about $80.
Yeah. All right. For those, we have 11 Rotarians who are close to their Paul Harris. The ones that are in highlight: Martin McElliott, Jim Mack, Janine, and Jeff Watt. They're close enough, and they haven't done the sustaining yet. So you could donate there and then also be Paul Harris, increase your level, pretty easy there, right?
Right, yeah.
I mean, it's, but everyone else, you're just close to getting your next Paul Harris.
So Randy, you need a bunker too?
No, I'm good, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
Because we can help.
All right, as you know, if we reach those 3 goals, we're 2 out of 3. Tom and Eric will be wearing their respective team jerseys. All right. All right, so we're getting crunch time to our selection committee, and we do have a vice president, Nita Sell. Effective October, and we have, of course, a new secretary, Janina Zell.
Yay, Janine!
But we do have a need for a nomination for vice president for next year. And then secretary, sergeant at arms,
So,
so on and so
Nate,
forth. Yes,
Nathan, so when would, if that person you're talking about,
Right.
the one you need,
right.
what year would they serve as president?
They won't serve for another 3 years, sorry, 3 years.
So we're talking about.
I'll be 25, 26, they'll be 26, 27.
Yeah, that's 3 years, yeah. So it is there is plenty of time to learn about Rotary if you're new. If you're not new, if you want to just learn about how to run the club, plenty of time to learn. And it's not like we're just letting you flounder out there. But there is a need to keep the club going. We need a new vice president. And then, of course, we need to confirm the volunteers that are on the board. And with that, there's me. And I sent out an email, last Friday was Gateway's 12th birthday, official birthday.
Yay.
And so we've done a couple of great things. It's on Facebook, on the Thurston County Rotary page. And we'll get it to ours eventually, once we finish that. All right.
So at this point, are we considered a preteen? Because we're just 12, is that right? Or we're a tweener?
12, or 12.
I don't know, it depends on how bad you are. I think that definition is also by how well you act.
I see.
Yeah. So
I just
better-
wonder if I need to cop an attitude or not.
Any more than you already have? I don't know. So these are the basic positions run down. I'll email this slide later. And remember, it's always good to be the king.
Yeah. Wow. You look good in a mustache.
Thank you, and a little, all right. Count the Monet. So at this time, I'd like to introduce Doug Long. He is our moderator today. And we'll go from there.
You might not want to leave that.
Oh, no. I was waiting until he walks up.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Doug.
Aren't you excited? It's fall,
Yay.
which means
Why?
political campaigns.
Yeah.
Former elected officials love this stuff. Just can't get enough of it.
Because they're not doing it anymore.
Because I'm not doing it anymore. That's right. The first time you run, it's always exciting and it's great to find out things, and then the last time you run, it's like such a relief. So today we are here highlighting candidates running for a Thurston County Commission. Thurston County, just by way of background, is governed by now a 5-member commission and is both a local government and a subdivision of state government. So the commission itself changed from 3 members to 5 last year with the voted people. So partly because our population has now exceeded 300,000. So population count is growing. Voted people added 2 new districts, and Nathan has already posted up there on the screen. You'll see the additional district, the 5 districts, and today we have candidates for District 4, which is the large blue area down at the bottom. So essentially the rural part of Thurston County. The 5th district, which was the other one that was created, is kind of the Lacey-ish sort of district down there in the middle, the darker blue.
So, the commission is primarily responsible for and serves as the general purpose local government and legislative authority outside of city limits. Many county responsibilities are mandated by state law, others are permitted by state law, and which allows for considerable local discretion. The commission is responsible for county policies related to public safety and health, community development, human services, environmental protection, solid waste, county financing, transportation, parks and recreation, and other state-directed duties. And another thing to remember, having just come out of COVID, the Thurston County itself, it was really really an important part of the overall statewide response around the pandemic. So again, commissioners are elected by district. This is important to note. The primary election was limited to only those registered to vote within a specific district, and essentially serves as a nominating election. And then now going into the general election, regardless of where you live in Thurston County, you get to vote for any of the commission candidates on the ballot. So there will be there are two races, 4 candidates, District 4, District 5. If you are registered to vote in Thurston County, you get to vote in there. So just because you may be living in District 1 doesn't mean you have to ignore this or get to ignore this. You have a responsibility to vote in the upcoming general election. County commissioners have traditionally been partisan offices, so that's an important thing to take into consideration. And because these are 2 new districts, and today District 4, there is no incumbent running for this position today. So running for District 4, we have Vivian Eason and Wayne Fournier. If you can come on up, join us up here. So Vivian and Wayne,
Not mix these two up.
because I don't want your.
Yeah, I don't know what you're
We only have 1 microphone, so we're going to share, and I'm going to serve as timekeeper. Now, the phone will ring at the end of your time, but you will also know that you are running out of time because I'll start to get closer to your personal space.
Oh, okay.
Right? So that's how and you can't run away from the mic. That's the important thing there. So we're going to start with a 2-minute self-introduction.
Okay.
Let's see. Last time we did this, which is a different firm, you went first. So we'll have Wayne go first. No, okay. So we'll have Wayne go first, and then you will go second. Okay. So Wayne, your 2-minute opening remarks.
Okay.
Lean into it.
I just like doing that part. Hi, my name is Wayne Fournier. Good morning. Thank you for inviting me here today. I am currently the mayor for the city of Tenino. I've served there for the past decade. I did a term as a city council member before that. And I got into politics. I hate saying that term, but yeah, I got into politics when I was 32. And I looked around and I wanted to make a better community for my daughter and my family. And I was naive enough to think that that was possible. And I ran for office, and I had a great time, and I've had a lot of success. And I've really enjoyed community leadership and making progress and involving family and friends and things like that. And really, I think the success we got in Tenino was just about opening doors and empowering people and bringing people in to help make decisions and making sure you're surrounding yourself with people that are motivated for the right reasons. In addition to being mayor, I've been a professional firefighter for over 20 years. I worked here in Lacey right out of college. I graduated from WSU with a degree in philosophy. I came to work here as a trainee firefighter. I did that for 3 years. And then after that, I got hired with the city of Aberdeen. I did some stuff kind of in between. I worked as a parole officer. I worked as a juvenile counselor in juvenile prisons. So I've got some varied experiences, but my primary experience is college, fire service, and then community leadership. I have an advanced certification in municipal leadership from the AWC. I was named the best mayor in Western Washington by King 5 in 2017. I thought that was kind of cool. And we've had some successes in Tenino. We've revamped all our parks. We've renovated all our public buildings. I take to heart taking care of public infrastructure and making sure that the nuts and bolts are taken care of, kind of the boring There we go, 0 seconds.
Thank you. Vivian, 2 minutes.
2 minutes goes really fast. I'm Vivian Eason. I'm running for Thurston County Commissioner District 4, and I live in Rochester on a 10-acre little farm with chickens, horses, dogs, cats, and lots of crows, which I love. They save my chickens from the birds of prey. So I worked for Thurston County for 35 years, part of that being in the juvenile justice system in detention. I worked in the Thurston County Jail for 15 years. And then the last 15 years, I worked in Thurston County Emergency Management. I developed the outreach program. I think one of my last events was coming here and speaking to you all before I retired and talked about emergency management. I have a great passion for Thurston County. I live in the unincorporated part of Thurston County. It's not a growth management, so we're kind of the forgotten ones a lot of times. I spent 3 hours at the commissioners' meetings yesterday. There were 2 public hearings, and both of them impacted unincorporated Thurston County. So that was one of the reasons people voted to add the new districts, was so someone could be more representative of that unincorporated area. I see myself as that person. I'm your neighbor. I know a lot of people, and I do go to a lot of county commissioner meetings. Yesterday, I spoke on the Grand Mountain sub area because some people have been waiting 12 years to get their permit to make their property into more of a commercial property. So what we're seeing is the only ones that can really develop out there right now is the tribe, and so we really want to push. That's going to be a corridor of commercial, so let's let people redistrict their properties, and Doug really likes me, I can tell. So anyway, so I'm your neighbor. I want to be your county commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you. So the next question, we'll start with Vivian, and you should have received this.
Yes.
What are the 3 most pressing issues Thurston County, and how will you address them? You have 1 minute to answer.
Well, a lot of people may not know is we do not have a contract with our main union right now. I am endorsed by the union in that I think they saw me as somebody who understands what it's like. We've lost tons of employees. I know that's a lot nationwide, but Thurston County used to be the employer of choice. So I'd like to see us back to that. We're also updating our comprehensive emergency management plan, the long-term ag, which really is set to impact a lot of unincorporated agricultural people, which would take away their development rights. So I want to be there to work on that. Another thing is our budget. I mean, where are we at with our budget? We're spending a lot of money. If you go to the county commission meetings, we're spending a lot of money. And we know that revenue's down in the real estate market. A lot of revenue sources have. So I see that as some of the big areas that I want to work on. And our permit center. Thanks.
Great.
That was 4, sorry.
Wayne, 3 most pressing issues.
I'd like to say budget, because it's budget season and the county's budget projections, revenue projections are paltry for the next couple of years, and right now they're proposing 8% cuts across the general fund. That's scary, and I think that's probably the primary important thing right now. And I've got a lot of experience working with budgets. When you're the Tenino mayor, you have to learn how to do it yourself. And you don't have a finance department, so you have to understand fund-based accounting. You have to go to classes on it. You have to build them yourself, and you have to get creative, developing new revenue streams. And I have experience doing that. But that would probably be the number 1 important thing. There's a leadership issue right now. We're going from 3 to 5. We're changing the form of government. The county manager just resigned. The interim county manager is probably going to retire within the next 12 months. So there's a lot of experience going out the door. So stabilizing leadership. And then the third thing is the comp plan. The comp plan is going to be open, and that's the long-term planning document.
Thank you, Wayne. So now we have questions from club members, and I will moderator prerogative. The first question will come from me.
Okay.
We'll start with Wayne. Wayne, you have 1 minute to answer. Why do you want to serve as county commissioner?
I want to serve as county commissioner. I enjoy leadership. I've been the mayor for 10 years, and then this map changed, and I was a part of making that map and establishing what that map would look like. I've been an advocate for going to 5 commissioners since the idea came up, because it was obvious that South Thurston County was underrepresented and felt disenfranchised. I've established myself as a leader in that big blue area right there, and I feel that I can do the job from day one. And then, I love being mayor, and this came up, and I started looking around. I was like, well, who do I want to be my county commissioner while I continue mayoring? And there's nobody's name that really jumped out. And, I was approached about a lot of people. A lot of people just thought I was going to go for it. And so I was asked, and I said, well, I've got the most experience in this district. I'm the most established leader, and I'm just going to put my money where my mouth is and make sure South County is taken care of.
Great, thank you. Vivian, why do you want to serve as county commissioner?
I believe I know the county better than anyone. I've worked in the county, I know how it runs, I know where our budget issues are. I did not vote to add the 2 county commissioner positions because it was going to cost us about $700,000 more a year. Knowing that, I kept looking and thinking, my budget's hurting, so what's the county's budget? But now we're here, now we've got to work on it, and we have to go forward and make this a good county. I'm not a politician. I'm endorsed a lot by grassroots folks. I'm endorsed by people that have known me for 30, 35 years. And I work well with other people. I developed the whole outreach program. I have a lot of interest in our county. And again, I do not want to be a politician. I want to be that person that if you call me up, you can call me and talk to me, and I can help you with issues that are working in the county. And I do that right now, so thank you.
Great, thank you. So, let's see, Vivian?
Yes.
We'll start with you, even though you've said you're not a politician.
No.
Matt wants to know, who are your role models in politics and why? 1 minute.
My favorite county commissioner ever was Diane Overquell, and I'm endorsed by her. She was passionate. You could call her and talk to her. She would call me, just little old me, an emergency manager, and ask me for advice or ask me to help her understand something better. And that's what I see, is I don't want somebody who thinks they know it all. I want to reach out to, I'm retired military, and so when I would be out doing operations in the field, I was civil affairs, so I wasn't real tactical, so I relied on my tactical special ops guys or somebody like that to take control, and that's what I want to do, and I want to be that personal person who can reach out and ask those experts and that they trust me to give me that. And I'm endorsed by Gary Edwards, he was our sheriff for a long time, endorsed by Andrew Barkus, who I love. He's grown up over the years. I helped him with when he ran for county commissioner. So there's just a lot of people. Judy Wilson, I'm endorsed by her.
Thank you. So Wayne, who are your what do they say? Role model in politics and why?
My favorite politician ever, and I hope this doesn't happen to me, but I think it's cool, is Teddy Roosevelt. And he was shot on the way to a campaign, and he just brushed it off, went and bled out while he gave a speech, and nobody had any idea that was going on. And that is like peak cool. It's just to be that tough. And so I really appreciate Teddy Roosevelt. Other than that, every elected official that I've had the opportunity to work with in Thurston County, they are all mentors to me. Right now, I'm part of a great group of mayors that are great about helping each other out. We're kind of like a little family. We do meetings every Friday. Every month we have a Friday like lunch where we get together and we commiserate and we talk about how we can help each other out. But every elected official, and if you look at my endorsement list, it's nearly every elected official in Thurston County, every port commissioner, 2 out of 3 county commissioners. It's important that you're able to build relationships, have colleagues that you can count on.
So Wayne, you have the next question.
Well, you pushed me out.
Yeah, I know. I did. You had to shut up that one. So hook. No, this works better.
Yes.
So Tom wants to know, what's the largest operational budget for which you personally had responsibility for? Largest budget.
Largest budget. The city of Tenino's budget, it's roughly around $10 million operating, and then we get grants, and so it can go upwards of $18, $19 million. And I understand that's a lot smaller than the overall county budget, but it's scalable. And the systems are similar, and the responsibilities are similar when it comes to oversight and when it comes to advisement and taking in information. So right around 19 million.
Vivian,
Same
the
question.
largest operational budget.
Well, I haven't been in charge of an operational budget because we had a director, but I was in charge of grants. We got millions of dollars in grants from FEMA and from the federal government for disasters. And so we had a lot of requirements. There was a lot of reporting. I followed the county budget. As a county employee, we often followed the county budget because it impacted us. So I find myself very familiar with the budget. And as a county commissioner at that level, you have to rely on your budget director. And what I would want to make sure is that I speak to the people that really work those budgets. Because I watched some of the videos and sometimes information wasn't clearly put out to the county commissioner. So I think it's really important to do your homework as a county commissioner, make sure that you are up to date on all the information.
Great, thank you. So Vivian, we'll start this next question with you. It comes from Andrew. He wrote, there is a proposed sales tax increase for public safety. Do you support, and if so, why? If this proposal is not supported, how do you propose to meet the growing needs of our sheriff department? 1 minute.
I'm 100% supportive of the Sheriff's Department, and this has been a long time need, is to have dedicated funding for our Sheriff's Department. But it won't just give our Sheriff's Department more money, it will give our prosecutors, our public defender, and it will also help with security for elections. And there is a resolution, because always the past, the fear was that they would supplant. So you would get the tax dollars and then they take away all the general fund. So there's an agreement and a resolution that will not happen. So it will actually enable us, the sheriff was talking about maybe doubling how many are out on the road at the time. I'd like to see it tripled because I do live in an area that is our primary law enforcement. So we don't have the luxury of having a city police department in addition. So the county is, and we're one of the most populated areas of unincorporated Thurston County, and a high crime rate, I might add. So I'm very supportive. It also help in the Thurston County Corrections Bureau. So,
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wayne, do you want me to reread the question?
Oh, thank you.
1 minute.
Yeah, I'm in support of the public safety sales tax initiative. I'm on the steering committee in favor of it, and it's a big move. And as I mentioned, the county's budget is not looking good. The revenue is like flatlined, and so we need to move the needle forward with staffing with the sheriff's department. We do need election security dollars, and this represents about $17 million. And and I like that it's not just placed on property taxes. So it's not just Thurston County property owners that are going to be helping support this new initiative. It also will come out of guests. And so it's important that we make Thurston County the most inviting county that we can, and that we're bringing in outside, tourism and things like that, so that we're kind of bolstering this up from revenue outside of the county. I've got experience doing that. I am in favor of the public safety sales tax initiative.
Here it comes.
Okay, perfect. So we'll start again with Wayne. Let's see, Mike wrote, the city of Olympia has just opened a 50-unit mini home complex to provide secure shelter and basic services to the homeless. Do you envision a similar or other solution for the county? If you do support shelter services for the homeless, how should they be funded? Okay. 1 minute.
One thing I didn't mention about the public safety sales tax is that a portion of those proceeds do go to municipalities. So of that 17 million, about 8 million will go to each city divvied up. So don't forget that. Homelessness is a big issue. Just this last year, we passed a regional housing sales tax initiative. And that's going to be a lot of money that's going to come into the coffers for these efforts. As Doug mentioned, Olympia just opened a 50-unit complex, and they're struggling with funding. So making sure that these, while you start these initiatives, you need to make sure that they need to have established and ongoing revenue sources. So I do fear that I know that while you're in an emergency, you have to move forward, and sometimes you have to move forward and then figure things out. We got to make sure we don't get too far ahead of ourselves, and we're spending money and writing checks on things that we can't support down the road. So there is a balancing act that's going on that we got to make sure we're not getting ahead of. But we do have we did pass that regional housing sales tax initiative, so there is new money coming in, and it's yet to be decided how exactly that's going to be spent, but we need to make sure that it's programs that provide supportive services that wrap around and help bring the individuals up, and not simply just house them and expect them to figure things out on their own.
Thank you. So that was actually like a minute and a half because I forgot to push the start button. So,
So I get longer?
so you get longer too, Vivian. Do you want me to reread the question or do you got it?
No, I've got it.
Okay. Go.
So as I grew up, we grew up pretty poor. My dad was a minister for a church that didn't provide, so he had to work different jobs. So I've worked since I was about 11, actually. I used to mow lawns. I still mow lawn. So I had to work 3 jobs to buy a house because I was single and I wanted a farm. So what I see is a lot of people are experiencing homelessness now because they're being taxed out of their homes too. There's some people that are homeless, and then there's other people that we are housing because we need to get them treatment. So I see it as a multitude of issues, is providing proper mental health treatment for people, providing drug and alcohol treatment, and helping people to get out of that where they have to live in a teeny tiny home that my horse stall is bigger than that. And so I don't see it as a human services kind of person. I don't see it as proper that we expect people to live like that. I would like us to see build affordable homes out in Grand Mound. We don't even have affordable homes out in the county. And so we've talked about that. I'd like to see it more of apartment buildings or areas that are more sustainable and charging rent. I mean, we want people to get out and work, and maybe it's only $50 a month or something, but we've got to be sustainable when we build these. We can't expect people that are hardworking, and we're all being impacted by the economy right now, for us to keep paying for everything.
Even a minute and a half seems like a long time sometimes.
No, it doesn't.
Okay, so the next question, let's see, we'll start with Vivian. What is your position on the sex offender LRA house placement in Tenino by Supreme Living, and how active were you when the situation occurred in January? That comes from Troy. 1 minute.
Thank you, Troy. Actually, that was unincorporated Thurston County home. I just had a Tenino address, so there was a lot of confusion on that. I actually met the person who started that a year ago last April. I was at a county commissioner meeting, and she was there speaking on it like 9 months before everyone else got involved, and she was kind of on her own, and we're still friends. And so I was involved in it from the very beginning, and I kept referring her to people. I was campaigning, so it was really hard to do a lot because I didn't have the power to do that. But Carolina Mejia and Gary Edwards stepped up to the plate and really helped with that. And so I am against that. I'm totally against not notifying people that that's coming in their neighborhood. So they were able to shut down that house, which was awesome. And then recently we heard a rumor that they might be trying to do that at Maple Lane School, which is in my area. And I was able to get that clarified and make sure that that wasn't happening. So I will stay on it.
Thank you. Wayne, do you want me to reread the question?
No, I'm good. So again, as mayor of Tenino, you have to be careful about not crossing over jurisdiction boundaries. A constituent from the Little Rock area came to me in January and kind of told me about it. I said, hey, give me more information, but this is in the county and you got to go through them first. But then they made the fatal mistake of holding a town hall in Tenino. And as soon as they got in the city of Tenino, like, well, you're in my world now. And I went all in with the community in stopping the LRA from setting up shop in Tenino. And there was, it's kind of a multi-pronged attack where you come at it from the top, you come at it from the bottom, you come at it sideways. We were putting together initiatives. We were putting together marches on the governor's office. We were putting together petitions against it. I was meeting with people from McNeil Island, DSHS, and we put together an effective defense.
Putting together an answer to the question. So, Nita wrote, the county is faced with a very limited budget and very little opportunity to enhance revenue. Out of this list, what are your priorities? Jail, employee raises, election facility. Wayne.
That's a tough question. When you're talking about budget cuts, it's a really tough question. I don't like the 8% across the board, right? That's it's kind of an easy button when it comes to, cutting budgets. And you need to start by doing things like, holding down hiring for open positions. You need to start by looking at some of the contracts that you have. Can they be renegotiated? And you need to start kind of empowering your department heads and your staff to be able to get creative about taking some ownership and creating those cuts on their own. Some of this is hard because some of the places that these monies are invested are in independently elected positions. So when you've got an independently elected clerk, you've got an independently elected auditor, they don't really have the same type of pressure that you would have as, say, a direct report where you say, hey, you need to fix your budget. So it takes a lot of collaboration.
So I'd like to remind the candidates that they should try to answer the question.
Yes.
Out of this list, what are your priorities? Jail, employee raises, election facility.
All three are very important. What is most important? I can't put a jail over election security.
Okay.
Okay.
You need me to reread the question?
No, I'm capable of remembering a little bit. I would say first priority would be keeping our staff. And so we can't give them probably the raises that they would expect, but they were offered 2.5 last year, 2.5 this year, and L&I went up 4.5, and now L&I is going up another 4.9. That also comes out of their salary. So they've basically been taking pay cuts. We're down about 30 staff in the jail, so we can't run the jail until we get it staffed. So staffing is very critical. It affects, the year I left emergency management, we lost 4 people out of that, and there's only like 7. So there's a lot of people leaving, so we've got to retain staffing. So I'd say staffing, and then the jail, and then election security. Not that any of them are less important, but we've put a lot of money into election security. I know we've put a lot through Homeland Security funding too, because they came and asked us, and there was some money recently that they're looking at they still have to spend. And so there's other, I think the federal government.
We are on a tight timeline here to get to the end. So we'll start with Vivian. Eric wants to know, what do you see as the most pressing needs for infrastructure or capital projects in the county?
Well, if you've been to the Taj Mahal, as some people call it, the atrium, which is very nice, the county courthouse needs to be remodeled because we've now they just kind of moved out, left all the furniture, everything. So we've got to get the courthouse remodeled so that people can move into those spaces that aren't being utilized. So I see that as the biggest priority right now in the infrastructure. Did I answer that question? Yes. So, but coming up with the money is going to be the biggest issue. I know we have bonds out for that, but we've got to get it done because, as you know, building costs are increasing every day. We had examples yesterday of people that, because they've been waiting for their permits, their building costs have doubled since they asked for their permits, so they can't even build. So I think that we've got to move forward with that, and then we have to look at what our future holds. Can we continue to rent a building, or should we look at how we're going to restructure the county building?
Thank you. So again, Wayne, where do you see as the most pressing needs for infrastructure or capital projects in the county?
We need to take stock of what we have. We're not, the last couple of years, they wanted to build an event center. They wanted to build a new county courthouse. They wanted to build new this, new that. We're not in a position to do that right now. So it's really important that we take stock of what we have and do things like fix the county courthouse that we have and make sure that the roads that we have are taken care of. So before we start dreaming up, new capital projects, we really need to take care of the ones we have. And so, that's really important. If you're a homeowner, you need to take care of the house you got before you start dreaming up new schemes and new things to do. So, courthouse, where we house our, the animals that are brought in for animal services, that one's going to be another big expense. And, they're staying in kind of squalor and that's, you know, that's just a sad and unfortunate situation. So fixing what we've got.
Great, thank you. So before we move on to the part where you get to ask each other questions, this one was really kind of a fun one. So Matt wrote, so we'll start with Wayne. If you could invent one new holiday for all county employees to celebrate with a day off, what would it be? Wayne.
That's kind of, okay. One new holiday to celebrate with a day off. Gosh, I mean, it's fun, but how do I even answer that? I guess I would want to, you know, if it's not for a specific reason or a specific purpose, and it's just a holiday to give people days off, I would want to look at it in a very boring way. I'd lay out the calendar and find the biggest stretch without a holiday, and I'd put it smack dab in the middle.
Yay, June. Thank you.
I've heard mentioned that we should make Election Day a holiday. And maybe that would get our voters to vote. And because our voting percentages have been so low, if you looked at the primary, it was very low. So I would encourage people to get out and vote, and it would give a time to educate people. You could make it a fun event, but I would see that as not that we need another paid holiday, but that would be a stretch in there that you haven't had a day off for a while.
Great, thank you. So now's the opportunity where you will have ask each other a question. So you'll have a minute to ask your question, and then your opponent will have a minute to answer.
This is your copy, isn't it?
No, mine's over there. No Wayne Creedy for Doug. So we'll start with Vivian. A minute to ask Wayne a question.
Okay.
You know, I actually don't like this part because I feel like I try not to be mean. So people go, you gotta be tougher. So one of the things that Wayne talked about at a different forum was that he plans on staying as a full-time firefighter and a full-time county commissioner. And my thoughts with that is those are two very well-paid positions paid for by taxpayers. It puts you into two different retirement systems. So is that something that you're still planning on doing, Wayne?
Good question. Don't know yet, but this position is only for 1 year, right? So it's only one term. You can't really give up a career for 1 year. But also, I've been an elected official for the last 10 years. It's a way of life as well as a job. And so I'm here this morning at 6:45. I worked last night. I was on the fire engine last night. I think I'm doing okay. And so I spend a lot of my work time, or I work 6 days a week. And a lot of the time you guys are sleeping, I don't need that. I'm good. I'm like used to working almost around the clock. I've typically had 3 to 4 jobs my whole life. So I'm very well prepared. I'm ready to start the county commissioner thing from day one. And it is important to note that I understand the roles and responsibilities of the job, and I know how to do it.
Great, thank you. So you
my question. Vivian, who is your favorite superhero and why?
Wonder Woman. I love that show. Actually, it probably would be John Wayne because I watched a lot of Westerns growing up, and I always wanted to be a passionate leader who could do something that I loved at the same time. So I did mounted patrol search and rescue with my horse, and that was like my dream job. That would be my superhero.
Great, thank you. So let's give a round
Thanks
of
for a
applause.
fun question.
Yeah, extremely nice job. So very good. So I want to point out something. So because it's a new position, and in order to get everything in sync with the terms, it is a 12-month position, and then they have to rerun again
Yes.
a year from now. So
Yes.
we'll probably see somebody, one of these two, next year.
We get to see Doug a lot.
And then the other position 5 is
3 years.
3 years
Yes.
in order to get in sync. So and then the port one is even weirder. So we'll do closing remarks. We'll start with Wayne and then end with Vivian. Wayne, 1 minute closing remark. Make it persuasive.
Make it persuasive. Good morning, everyone. My name's Wayne Fortier, and I'm here running for Thurston County Commissioner. I've been elected. I've been in an elected spot for the last 10 years, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to continue serving not just South Thurston County, but all of Thurston County. I think it's important that we elect somebody that understands that while there are unincorporated parts of Thurston County and there are incorporated parts of Thurston County, we're all one Thurston County. And I've got a history of being a collaborator, working across jurisdictions. I'm endorsed by every single mayor. I'm endorsed by the tribal persons, Dustin Klatush of the Chehalis tribe, Willie Frank III of the Nisqually tribe. And so it's important that while this new thing is created, an individual is put into this that can be comfortable stepping foot in Olympia City Hall and have a voice, or Rainier Roundup days and have a voice.
Thank you. Vivian, your closing remarks, please.
Thank you for having us here today. I want to be your county commissioner. I want to be the person that can help you. I see right now is a really good time for us to be working on economic development and supporting businesses. Living in a small community, we've lost a few businesses, and we're trying to get them to build back up. But I see that as really important right now during a time when a lot of people are in need. So I find we need to work on economic development. I've worked countywide my whole life, actually, I guess. And I've been in people's homes, I've been in their neighborhoods. I know what it's like in our area. If you talk about some Zinker Valley, I actually know where Zinker Valley is. Some of our county commissioners didn't. But it's like knowing what needs are in all the area. I know we're countywide, but a lot of our authority is in unincorporated Thurston County, and like our roads and our sheriff's department, etc. Thank you.
Thank you. A round of applause for the county. So next week we have District 5, and remember to vote. Thanks.
Ballots drop October 18th.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Wayne, Vivian, and of course Doug for moderating. Another round of applause, please.
Yeah.
All right, so now we have the Sergeant at Arms. Please welcome Dave Newsom.
Yay, Dave!
That's okay. Don't get up. That's all right. So I was thinking about my dad the other day because I'm getting older. I'm about ready to turn 55, and it dawned on me I've never been to the city before. And fortunately, there's lots of experience in this room to pull on. So I appreciate it. And so what's today all about? Well, we like to find, and as Jerry challenged me, I came up with a new acronym for FIND. It's a fun investment in new experiences.
I like it.
So I didn't see anybody do anything funny or wrong, so I've just made up some stuff, so hang with me here. So we're going to have the first ever Gateway Awards. Okay, so the contestants are, or the nominees are, Eric Rowe, who famously said, "Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?" Hell no. The next nominee is Tom Carroll, whose first Rotary meeting, he thought, well, maybe the symbol looks like the steering wheel of a ship. Maybe it's about sailing.
Yeah.
And the winner and the grand champion is Jerry Farmer, who famously coined the phrase, "Pay $1."
Thank you.
So, with all of that, happy moments, anybody? No happy moments. Jerry Farmer.
Do I better give you the mic?
No.
I finally bought one of our cards for fining, if you will. They're only, what, $25? And you get 30 punches, so that's because the math is hard to do and what percentage increase that is that you get for it. So you can do 5 of those. I'll do my 5 free ones because I also owe them as well. And I'd just like to give a shout out, excuse me, I'm not getting choked up, I'm actually choking. on my own spit, which is something that happens at my age. So, but I'd like to give a shout out to none other than Tom Carroll. Tom is the guy that originally wrangled this team of cats into place to form this club 12 years ago, almost 13 years ago, when he put it all together. So we are all almost teenagers in this club, thanks to Tom Carroll, but I would like you all to give a warm and sincere round of applause to Tom Carroll. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Gateway or teenagers, we're going through those changes, right?
All that for $1, I tell you, that was pretty good.
So, I'd just like to thank Vivian and Wayne for joining us this morning. So a couple punches there. And it does take a lot of effort and time to come out and campaign and do these types of forums, and they're really good sports. So thank you very much. Appreciate you being here. I'm happy they showed up.
Yeah.
And we have?
Oh,
Amanda Baker.
Okay, so I don't pay $1. No, you just didn't have that. Can I fix this? This is making me crazy.
They don't call him Dave Droopy Dusek for nothing.
It happens at age 55.
Yeah, that's right.
things start to sag a little bit, right?
Want to get it?
Yeah. I missed that opportunity. Probably good, I did.
Mr. Leonard.
Dollar well spent, Amanda, dollar well spent.
Good morning, everybody. I am not sure if it's proper for our club to fine guests, but we did have a late arrival this morning. Miss Deanna, and I'm going to let you guess. Is it north? Deanna north? South? East? Or west?
East!
East, yes, Miss Deanna East from North Thurston Public School Education Foundation. Executive Director, thanks for joining us today. Sorry to embarrass you. I'll be on the next 2 weeks. Next Tuesday, I do have an appointment with the Astoria City Manager, former Lacey City Manager, Scott Spence. I will be bringing him his Gateway Rotary badge.
Nice.
There it is.
Nathan suggested a photo op.
Yep.
Do we draw?
So Amanda, this is in your honor, Amanda, because you reminded me of a time when my daughter was working as a nurse practitioner at Group Health, and I was the medical director. And in full public display, she came across a lobby and said, "Oh, Daddy," licked her thumb and smoothed a curl off the side.
Wow, she'll be a good mom someday.
Nice, very nice.
Spit on people's face.
That was the extent of my maternal
Yeah.
instinct.
Thank you. I just wanted to pay Deanna's fine and also reiterate ballots arrive October 18th. You have until the 7th to vote. Please vote. We had about Yeah, I am. I'm trying to make a shameless stick here, but I am running for Lacey City Council position 2. And I was kind of surprised not to see a debate for that position, seeing as we were hosted in the city of Lacey. Oh, that's right. We were right across the boundary line. Yes.
Welcome to Olympia.
I know. We should clean that up someday.
Yeah.
But it's really important. We had about a 20% turnout countywide, and that's just not enough. We have a handful of people making decisions for everyone. We need to get everybody out there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ma'am.
Need a sip. There he is.
Past presidents always love the microphone, and I guess future presidents do too. We had an old tradition in another Rotary club that I used to belong to, where when it was your birthday, you paid a huge fine. We had to pay $1 for every year. Well,
Wow. Woo! Man.
how many dollars would that be, Jerry?
71.
Okay, Jerry Farmer's birthday was yesterday. Let's hear it for Jerry.
60-11. You're right, 60-11. 50-22. No, 50-21. You can't do math at my age.
So,
The second thing that goes?
Yeah.
so I will miss you.
After the name tag.
I've got it. So I will miss you next week. I am heading to Kohler, Wisconsin. How many people have been to Kohler, Wisconsin?
Wow.
Why?
No, well,
Zach Davis.
Kohler, Wisconsin, there we go. So, Well, that's, after we go to Milwaukee to go to the mothership, we're gonna go see the Harley Davidson main factory. We're taking a friend of mine, that Joe Beck, that owns Northwest Harley Davidson, but we're gonna go play a little golf and visit Wisconsin and check it out. Pick up some parts, you know, taking an extra suitcase, but I try to smuggle that through. This is over 50 pounds, sir. So we'll miss you next week, and but gonna play a little golf, Mike Leonard, so it'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, I will, absolutely.
Bring us back some cheese. Cheese up there now.
All right, thank you, Dave and everybody. Another round of applause for Dave Busek. All right. So next week, like Doug mentioned, we have District 5. That's in the blue, the other blue. And it's kind of like the Lacey, West Lacey, North Lacey type district. And thank you for attending. See you next week.